Sir, at the very outset, I would like to thank all the honorable members who have participated in this budget debate and have given their very important and valuable suggestions. Sir, to save time, I won't name every member, but there were 34 members who participated. I think it is a record in one way, and it is a very healthy sign of overall participation in the House. And I really congratulate the honorable members for participating, and also would like to thank you, sir, for having given the time for each of the members to participate. Sir, having said that, as you could make out from the speech that was given by the different members, that there were a lot of individual issues pertaining to their constituency, and of course some which were generic in nature. And therefore, for me to go into each of the details of every member's concern, though desirable, may not be possible, because there was a large number, and I was just calculating last time we had about 22 members participated, and it took me 3 hours 45 minutes to reply. If I were to reply to all 34 today, I think, sir, you would have to provide dinner for us tonight, sir. So let me assure the members, sir, that I will personally look into all the aspects. I have also noted down most of the points, and of course, sir, my team has noted down all the points that are there, and all the concerned departments will be informed about all those aspects. Could I have the presentation, please? Sir, while trying to reply to this debate that we had, sir, I would like to just go at the overall presentation on the important aspects of the budget. And what I would try to do during my reply, sir, is to connect what the honorable members have mentioned to the larger vision and goal that we have as a government, and to be able to again connect the departments on how we will move forward in the different departments to achieve that goal and overcome the different challenges that we may have as a government, which a lot of members have mentioned a couple of times. So through my reply, I will try to focus on two main themes. First theme, sir, of course, is the larger purpose-driven and thematic-driven development program and implementation, rather than scheme-based implementation. And number two, sir, I would focus on the employment generation through the different activities that we have. Sir, in this first slide, if you look at this, a large number of members have mentioned about the $10 billion economy. And of course, due to the lack of details, we always end up looking at this $10 billion. And that's really what the purpose also is, that there should be one target that drives our entire purpose, but there are multiple aspects connected to that one particular goal that we are trying to achieve. And in this $10 billion, so let me just put things in perspective, that when we started this target, at that point in time, the $10 billion economy was at 85,000 crores, which we came out by multiplying the then GSDP of the state at 44,000 crores. And we said that we will aspire, or 42,000 crores roughly, we will aspire to double it. And that is how our 84 85,000 crores, which is a $10 billion came in. So if you look at this chart, I think this is one of the most important charts to look at. And what we're trying to connect, sir, that while we talk of $10 billion, it is not just a number. It is not just about the money of this $10 billion and the GSDP growing to it. There is a very large purpose behind this $10 billion. And it is linked to the 10 opportunities that we perceive and the 10 commitments that we would like to make. On top, the 10 points that are there are the 10 opportunities. By that we mean the areas which we feel that government should invest so that opportunities come out. And the 10 below are the commitments in terms of what is it that we want to deliver. And these guiding principles of 10 opportunities and 10 commitments is what makes this budget and this entire Vision 10 document complete. So while we look at $10 billion, which is 85,000 crores at that point in time, it comes along with 10 investments, 10 opportunities and 10 commitments. And without going detail into all of that, I'll just mention one or two. As I said, sir, in terms of opportunities, we feel there's a huge opportunity when it comes to private sector investment. And so we have made programs, policies based on that opportunity. We feel there's a huge opportunity in entrepreneurship and skilling. And therefore, the programs that you saw in the budget was linked to the entrepreneurship and skilling. And the activities we've been doing in the past is again linked to this. Similarly, the urban transformation. We strongly feel that Shillong is ready for urban transformation, new Shillong township, which is an opportunity which will unlock large amount of further opportunities for the state and for the people. So on and so forth, there are these 10 areas of opportunities that we feel that we should be looking at. And these 10 commitments that while we try to fulfill or work towards the opportunities, we will work towards the 10 commitments that we have made, which is, again, simple things like the overall road connectivity, where a lot of members have mentioned that large number of villages are not connected. We're going to work towards this improved connectivity. We're going to work towards ensuring that housing is given to all. And that is what has driven the PMAY houses in the last 1 year. And we were able to achieve 130,000. And this year again, we are targeting another 1 lakh houses. Similarly, affordable health care for all, reliable and quality water power. So these are commitments that we are making because the growth story of the $10 billion economy will be worked along with the 10 commitments that we make. And this is something, sir, I wish to share with the House so that everybody feels involved with the entire target of achieving the $10 billion economy. Next. So if you look at this particular slide, it again shows the commitment of this government in terms of what we have been doing. Now, sir, we can look at these numbers and clearly see that it's not just about the goals that we have set in this particular document that we have, which is the budget speech, but we are already working towards achieving these goals. And there is already a momentum that has taken place. So if you look at the size of the budget alone, in 2017-18, we had a 9,858 crore budget. And in 2024-25, we presented a 27,000 crore budget. If you look at investments from externally aided projects, we had 2,502 crores in 2017-18, and today that has gone 3 times to 7,427 crores. The capital expenditure, one of our honorable members from opposition was mentioning that out of the 30,000 crores, 1/3 only is capital expenditure. The size of the budget has grown, and therefore, even though, sir, the 1/3 the capital investment this year or last year, this is last year's numbers, was 1/3. You can see the growth in the capital expenditure, where it was in 2017-18 at 1,435 crores. The size of the capital expenditure has jumped up to 9,447 crores and crossing 10,000 crores in this financial year. So to answer and reply to large part of what the opposition member had mentioned, that yes, sir, we desire to increase it more and more, but this number and this chart reflects the kind of work that is already happening and the fact that the capital expenditure has gone up from 1,400 to, that is 1,400 crores to today at 9,447. States' own resources, which was at 1,817 at the beginning of the term, first term of this government, today we have crossed 4,000 crores. And similarly, so on and so forth, even I'll go straight to the last number, which is the PMAY, where we had 140 crores in terms of PMAY investment or expenditure in 2017-18. But today, last year, in fact, we had an expenditure of 1,446 crores. So this is the kind of direction that we're moving towards. This is the momentum that we have gained, and we will continue to maintain this momentum in the coming 3 years. Next. Sir, I'll just give some examples from the different sectors that we have. And let me start with the tourism sector. And sir, just for, of course, the knowledge of some of the members, on the right side, so you can see some of the designs. The first one is the Tribal Heritage Center at Mandalgiri. The second one is the Rain and Bamboo Experience Center in Mawsyngram, which Honorable Member for Mawsyngram very proudly had mentioned that day in his speech. And so these are real projects which are in the pipeline. Funding for these projects has already been tied up. This project, work for this project, will start in this coming year itself. That is the calendar year. Now, so if you look at the numbers of tourist footfall, we had about 12 lakh tourists in 2018. We expect 16 lakhs. Now that we have received 16 lakhs this year, and we target to have 21 lakhs, that is 2 million tourists by 2028. And if you look at these numbers, this goes in line with the investments that we are making, with the aspect of the airport which we are trying to open up. Open up means expand, so that larger aircrafts can come in. It goes in line with 4 to 5 more 5-star hotels that are coming up. It goes in line with the 2,000 homestays that we plan to construct. It goes with the different investments in terms of the locations which we're trying to build up. And if you look at these numbers, we have calculated among ourselves, I didn't bring out the details out here, that based on this, we should be able to create direct employments in terms of the hotels, in terms of the restaurants, the homestays, the different travel agents, the different drivers and taxis, so on and so forth. We expect that we will have at least a minimum of 21,400 direct employment, and direct and indirect employment put together at about 59,919. So why I'm showing you this sector and the way we're doing calculations is again to give the comfort to the house that these are not numbers that we have, or these are not figures, or this is not a document that has just come up because we want to just give a very large vision without doing our homework. We have gone into every aspect of the calculations and worked out the different employment opportunities that are there for our people through the investments that we make in tourism. So as I mentioned, sir, we have the opportunities and tourism, art and culture and heritage is one of them. And with investment of close to 3,000 crores in this sector, even more, sir, because there's some of them have already been done, we will be able to create and unlock close to about 60,000 direct and indirect employment in the tourism sector alone. Next. Sir, through NRLM, again, this is a very powerful movement. We have been able to create different kind of groups, self-help groups. The numbers are quite clear out here that we had close to about 5,894 self-help groups in 2018. And today we have 51,674 self-help groups. The different employment generated or livelihood generated through these self-help groups has been close to 2 lakh employment and livelihood in the last 7 years. And we expect that we will be able to double that in the next 3 years, because now the hard work of actually creating the institutional system was time consuming. But now that this institutional system is already set up with 51,000 self-help groups, now the question of only exponentially growing it and giving them full support. Sir, I would also like to draw your attention to my attire today. And I want to share with you that this shirt that I'm wearing is made from eri. This shirt, again, is a made in Meghalaya product. The cloth is maybe one of the most comfortable cloths that I'm wearing. And just to share with you, sir, this particular eri has been colored with natural dye. So they use the Sotun local leaves along with the bark of a tree called Whitelam Pirthat, and iron ore and turmeric has been used to create this wonderful color that is there in this particular eri silk and this shirt that I'm wearing. And I've made more than 15 shirts like this, and I wear them very regularly because they're extremely comfortable. And I want to share with you, one day I wore this and I had gone to meet some of the ministers. So the education minister, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhanji, was so fascinated, he has asked me to send this eri silk cloth to him because he wants to make kurta and other shirts out of it. And similarly, we'll be sending the same to the Honorable Prime Minister's office and other cabinet ministers' office also to promote our textile, our own weavers, and to be able to create that market for them. I could suggest to our honorable members also, it will be nice if you can, apart from the Nokma ice cream, I think you had the Nokma ice cream? Yeah. Tikrikela MLA, I think, has been very kind because he was so excited when people are asking for the Nokma ice cream. So I think everybody has tasted the Nokma ice cream. And it's wonderful, sir. It's a great feeling to see our own products at the quality that we have seen in the rest of the world. And today, all of this has been because of the investments that we have made. And so I would urge the honorable members, you must adopt this. You must promote this. You must use this so that not just by talking, but by our small actions also, we are able to support our weavers and our self-help groups. And this is a small way, but a very powerful way to give the message, sir. And you must be aware, sir, that Yasha Rimbai, who is one of the founders of the Eri Weave Private Limited, had also received a 12% equity deal in the Shark Tank India Season 4. I think she deserves a round of applause. And this again, sir, is a strong reflection of the kind of support we've been giving to the NRL through the NRLM, which is the National Rural Livelihood Mission, by creating so many jobs and livelihood opportunities. And this will continue. Again, just to give an example to you that it's not just a $10 billion economy. There is a plan behind how this 10 billion will impact our common people. Next. So similarly, in the skill development area also, we have over 30,000 trained individuals in the last 3 years. We have trained them. And we target to train another 1 lakh more. And through this program, till now, we have been able to generate about 9,500 livelihood and employment opportunities have been created through the CM Skill mission. And we target that in the next 3 years, with 1 lakh more being trained, we are hopeful that another, out of this 1 lakh, minimum of 28,251 will also be able to get the livelihood and the job opportunities. So again, another example of the government not just simply giving numbers for the sake of it, but actually having a detailed plan and a roadmap on how we will move forward. Next. So if you go to the next slide, we talk about entrepreneurship. Again, a very, very important sector for us, because we strongly feel that it is only through the private sector and through entrepreneurship we'll be able to move forward. I'll just give you a glimpse of what's happening through maybe just one or two of the programs. First one's a CM Elevate. We have targeted, till now we have achieved 2,847. And out of these 284 people who have been supported, they have created another 3,975 jobs have been created through the intervention of CM Elevate. And we target that in the next 3 years, we intend to create a minimum of another 10,000 jobs and livelihood through the CM Elevate program. Similarly, sir, through the Prime program, which is also another entrepreneurship focused program, we are expecting to generate another 10,000 jobs through this program by supporting many more different local entrepreneurs that we have. And so if you just look at the numbers on the right side, you will see this chart of how the different number of beneficiaries and the subsidy that we have given, sir. So if you look at this entire amount of number of beneficiaries, 87 when it comes to the warehouse scheme. And we are giving per unit, we have given 39 lakhs of subsidy for every single unit, sir. And through these warehouses, today the storage capacity at the village level and at the rural level has gone up like never before. I gave the numbers in my budget speech. But again, sir, this is again a clear example of how CM Elevate is directly impacting the overall employment opportunities at the grassroots. So if you look at the Meghalaya Agriculture Warehouse Scheme, by supporting 87 beneficiaries, we were able to create 435 jobs, which is in the last columns approximately. So 400 plus minus jobs were created through this. So for every single intervention, how many jobs were created, all this data is there with us, and that's how we plan to move forward in a very systematic manner. So you can see the picture also of the swimming pool. That's again funded through the CM Elevate program. And we felt that we need to focus on swimming and other physical activities and sports. And government only doing the investment cannot be sustainable. So we want to pull the private sector also into it. And that's why we have supported swimming pools by giving them subsidy. And a large amount has been given by the individuals themselves. So again, going ahead with the theme of employment, because as I said, it is at the crux of everything that we're doing. Now I've shown to you, sir, how in the music sector we have created jobs, how in the NRLM sector we have created jobs, how in the skill development we're creating jobs, in the tourism sector, in the IT sector, sir. Again, a very, very interesting information that I want to share with you. That the current Shillong Tech Park, which has been completed and running, is at the moment currently employing over 1,500 boys and girls of ours, our own boys and girls directly, and indirectly through the support system that is there, whether it's the transport, whether it's the support staff, whether it is the food, so on and so forth. Almost 4,500 indirect jobs have been created, and that is a total of 6,000. And once the Shillong Tech Park 2 is done, we again expect close to 12,000 jobs to be created through the IT sector in Shillong alone, and 4,000 to be created in the Tura Tech Park. And sir, this is not just the numbers we have put here. As you're aware, through the Meghalaya Investment Promotion Agency Authority, We also have created a separate incentive for IT, which I mentioned last time, that the first 15,000 jobs to be created, we will give an incentive of 3,000 rupees per individual per month to the company that creates those jobs. And there are many people who are rushing today to our state to take advantage of this Meghalaya Investment Promotion Authority and jobs to be created. Just about a week back or 2 weeks back, so we again had an international firm that has come in and has signed an agreement with us to take space and to create a few hundred jobs in the IT park, and we expect much more to happen in the future. So therefore, sir, this is a very interesting area, and we expect that much more will happen in the days to come. Next. So similarly, the national games. Now, a lot of people, are excited about the national games, and obviously we should be, because this is the first time that we are hosting the national games ever, and it's a great opportunity for us to be able to improve the overall ecosystem in our state when it comes to the sports infrastructure. So while we'll be making a huge investment in infrastructure, we'll be making a huge investment in the training facilities, we'll be making investments in the different associations, we'll be making investments in terms of the different programs that we will have. So this is an opportunity for us to again create jobs in the economy, what we're calling the sports economy. A simple example, sir, that while we prepare for the national games, we require physical trainers, we require coaches, and for this to be there, we need trained personnel who are already there. There are a lot of physiotherapists, there are a lot of personal trainers who are very, very qualified, but the opportunity was never there. So we will convert this particular event into an opportunity to create jobs for our people. And not just in terms of the long-term jobs we will have in terms of the coaches, but also different business opportunities, because this is going to be a very large event. And therefore we will require different suppliers, different kind of individuals, different entrepreneurs to supply and to work with us in the services to be provided during the national games, which will further create livelihood and job opportunities. And we expect, sir, that at least about 15,000 personnels will benefit directly and indirectly through the national games. Next. Sir, similarly in agriculture. And agriculture, in fact, is the largest sector for us, because that's where the maximum number of people are involved. And again, sir, it's not that we are just looking at agriculture and saying that, we should support our farmers and just saying that agriculture and high-value horticulture should be promoted. We have a plan behind that also. And if you look at this mission mode programs that we have, these are exactly driven by the targets that we have created for agriculture. So we have put a target in front of us, and we have said, okay, now how do we reach this target? Now, to be able to reach this target, we realize we need to go for a mission mode program. It is only after the mission mode program in turmeric, we were able to increase our turmeric production by more than 15 times. It was at 1,000 metric tons. Today, we have crossed 15,000 metric tons. We started processing the different turmeric, the Lakadong turmeric, and today are exporting it to international markets. So mission mode interventions has been very critical. The food processing value chain development, again, I've shown examples. We in fact only brought the Nokma ice cream today. I have urged my agriculture and horticulture department to bring all the other products also that are being made throughout the state. So whether it's Lakadong, whether it is cashew nuts, whether it is chips, whether it's juice, whatever is being produced, I urge the department that please bring the products and share it with our honorable members. It's not about giving the products to them, but it's about them seeing what is happening at the ground level. It'll really make them feel that really things are moving forward. So again, CM Farm Plus is again a program where we are supporting with inputs for area expansion. That's again a very big project. CM Assure is a program again that came up after engagement with the honorable MLAs from Mokundru, honorable MLAs from other constituencies, who expressed the need for some kind of a system of market intervention, and hence we came out with the CM Assure program. And of course, support for insurance, irrigation, and KCC borrowers. Next. So this is an example of the CM Farm Plus. What do we do? And in fact, in the last 3 to 4 years, in the coming 3 to 4 years, we intend to increase, and our target in each of these products has been mentioned out here, that we intend to create this much of hectare and increase in the production of these particular items. And this target, of course, will then allow us to then provide the seeds and the training to the farmers to achieve these goals, and obviously the financial investments to achieve these goals. And once we do, you can see, sir, that the number of farmers we expect, close to 71,436 farmers will benefit from this investment. So these are all very, very detailed and meticulous planning that has gone in order to achieve the goal of the 84,000 crore or the $10 billion economy by breaking our goal into smaller achievable goals with a full plan of how we will do it and how we will spend money in moving forward. So the employment opportunities in this sector alone is at 71,436. Next. So if you look at the employment generation and value addition, so these pictures, if you can see on the side, can you just zoom in? Yes, sir. So these are real pictures. These are not, made up. This is the actual factory. And this one is in Babadam. I'm sure, sir, you know where this is. Sir? I'm sure you know where this one in Babadam, sir. The one on top. Yeah, this one, sir. It's in your constituency, sir. So, I mean, you can't make out from top, but yeah. So this is in your constituency, sir. The bottom one is in the constituency of our education minister. And these are real processing plants. This is where the awang chips is made. I don't have the picture of the factory where the Nokma ice cream is being made, but there are other products. If you just go up again, this plant on top is where other cashew nut products and so many other products are made. But coming to the slide, sir, okay, now come back, is so that through these activities of value addition, which number one gives a value to the product of the farmers. That's the number one part. These products are perishable, but by ensuring that we add value, we are able to provide a better price to the farmers because their products don't perish then. They don't have to worry about selling them on time or at low prices because there is an option now. Can it 100% remove the problem? Maybe not, but it is hugely impacting the price in the market. And today, in fact, somebody was telling me that when it comes to ginger in the market, sir, the price of ginger has gone up in Meghalaya in this season, and some of the officials had informed us about this. I'll just give you the exact message that I received about the different products that are coming in through this. And so this is basically now led to, yes sir, so in Garo Hills region, the ginger price has increased to 40 rupees per kg now, as mentioned by few of the traders. And that is a kind, comparing to, say, sir, Arunachal is at 20 rupees, and Mizoram is at 25, 30 rupees. And this is happening, sir, because of this intervention that we are doing to some extent, and other interventions also. But when it comes to job creation, again, just zoom up, the numbers are clear that even while we help the farmers, we are also creating jobs. So in 2021-22 alone, we created 1,367 jobs by doing this activity. In 2022-23, we created 1,648 jobs. In 23-24, we created 1,214 jobs. And in 24-25, we created 1,320 jobs. And so if you go next slide. And if you look at this, sir, with the basis of the CM Farm Plus and the interventions in the value addition, this is what we expect that we should be able to do. So the area expansion, sir, we expect that we should be able to have 75 5,000 jobs in this. And through the value addition, we expect that in the next 3 years, we can create another 22,196 jobs. Through market linkages, about 8,000. Through allied sectors, 65,168. So we are targeting that through all these interventions that we're doing and the smaller targets that we've created, through the overall agri and allied sector, we should be able to create 1,71,300 jobs. Next. So while I talk about this, so this is again another very interesting slide just to share with all our members that through the government interventions of creating different boards and kind of smoothening the process of recruitment, between 2018 and 2020-24, sir, we have been able to recruit over 12,208 individuals, and more importantly, close to about 6,000 jobs are being interviewed as we speak, including 3,000 in police. So we'll be looking at almost close to, in the next 1 year, put together, we're looking at almost saturating all the vacancies that were there in the state government for multiple reasons. I don't want to go into why the vacancies were there. There were a lot of problems we had, but we've managed to now streamline, and we'll be looking at close to figure of, if not 18, let me be conservative, 15,000 plus we should be able to cover in the next a year or so. And of course, sir, just to share regarding the minimum wage also, that our minimum wage for unskilled is at 525. So this is the 4th highest in the country. So we are giving a reasonable amount to our unskilled laborers and unskilled manpower. The highly skilled again is at 645, which again is the 5th highest in the country. Next. Yeah, so this is basically the nutshell and summary of what I gave in the last 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes. That this is the kind of breakup that we expect based on the different sectors. Now, I didn't go into all the sectors, sir, because it would take a lot of time. But I guess the House has an idea of where we are moving forward and how we're moving forward, of how this budget and this entire program that we have, the entire investment we're making, the entire vision of an 85,000 crore economy is tied down to smaller goals and targets sector-wise, has then been broken down into achievable goals in all the different areas to create this kind of employment. So if you remember, sir, last, I think a year back or 2 years back, I had mentioned 5 lakh job opportunities will be created. And it is on the basis of this analysis and detail that we have come out with these numbers. Of course, sir, I go with the caveat. I'm not saying that these are perfect numbers. These are aspirations. These are targets. And we hope that we'll be able to achieve much more than this. We will face challenges along the way. I'm not saying that this will be perfect, sir. In some areas, we may actually be doing much more better than this. But at least we have a plan. We have a target. We have a goal. And we have a path ahead of us on how we will go ahead and achieve these targets. Sir, I just want to just give a glimpse of the next slide. So this is the new Shillong. Now, sir, this is important. If we can just zoom into the Unity Mall. Just to give a flavor, sir, to our members about how this design happened. So again, this is most probably one of the best designs unofficially mentioned to me by the concerned ministers in the center. They were highly happy and impressed with the design that we had, doing it in a much more traditional manner and not with just simply concrete and bricks and cement, but giving it a very, very kind of a traditional touch to it. Of course, the architectural designs have been taken from different areas. But just to share, sir, that this was done with a lot of expertise, and we were one of the first states to submit the proposal. And obviously, we were one of the first states to get the sanction also for this. Already tender has been done and work is under progress. So similarly, if you look at the new secretariat, and so funding for this project is already done, the Unity Mall. So new secretariat again, we went through multiple processes. We looked at new, old designs, modern designs, sustainable designs, and ultimately, though it was a very difficult choice for us, we went ahead with this particular design because we looked at the next 50 years, 100 years, 150 years that a structure like this would have to sustain. And so keeping the sustainability in mind, this was put in. So the third one is again a very ambitious project. Again, funding for this has already been procured from Government of India, part funding. Again, this has been done because of the implementation of the tourism challenge mode that I had mentioned to you in my last debate, that there was a challenge fund and we were able to submit the projects on time, and among the Northeast states, we are the state that got the highest amount of 200 crores because of, again, the timely proposals and the quality of the proposals that we submitted. So overall, sir, you will see, please shrink it. So overall, you will see that these are the kind of projects that are going on right now, sir. The funding for all of this has already been linked. I don't want to go into details of it, but you can just see the screen. And so we are in the finalization of the projects where we will be getting the tendering will be done for the projects that are in the green and on the right side, sir. So this is the short story of Shillong City. Sir, why are we focusing on the new Shillong City? So as mentioned, sir, while we are doing so many other projects when it comes to skilling, when it comes to tourism, when it comes to farmers, until unless we don't have a robust urban growth, we will face large number of challenges. So we need to ensure that the growth story is spread out across sectors and spread out in every aspect, whether it's agriculture, whether it's tourism, whether it's social sectors, or whether it is the urban infrastructure. And therefore, for Shillong to get decongested, for the growth of the Shillong city to be taking it to the next level, so it is important for us to invest in the new city. Just to share a nice glimpse, the next slide. So this is a beautiful example of what we're doing. Some members were asking me earlier that what about the road projects? So there are large number of road projects. I will share that with you in the next slide. But just to give an example of how this is, can you just zoom into it? You can show from the left side and then going to the right side. So this is how it will be, sir. This is going to be a very, very modern, and so these are happening as we speak. This is not about the plans we have. This is being implemented right now. So we will actually have a very large walking space, footpath of almost 2 meters. We'll have a 1.8 meter of cycling track, so people can cycle. And we'll have 4 lanes in both sides, so that this becomes a modern city with amenities that can be there for, if not 100 years, but at least the next 50 years to 60 years, we should be able to cater to the needs of the city. I have asked the department that if it's possible, please create further space on the right side so we can have more green space for people to be able to walk. So this is large already, but I wish to make it slightly more broader with more green space so that we can actually have maybe some flower beds on the side and more beautification. And so about close to 23 kilometers of this road is being constructed in New Shillong as we speak. So this is the kind of vision with which we're moving forward, sir, and this is happening. The funding for this has already been tied down. So we're not going to have to look at different sources, whether it's through PM Divine, whether it's through Saski and other schemes. We are working ahead and moving ahead. So next. So this next slide. This just shows you the roads that are already going on and the roads that we plan to invest in. Again, so I don't want to go into details, but you will just zoom into the map. So if you can see, sir, the black ones are the ones that are already the roads. Just go up a bit. Just slide it up a bit. Yeah. So the black ones are already the ongoing projects. So you can see how many of them are there. There are under sanction and conceptual projects. There are few more that is there, which is going to be implemented. Again, funding for all of these have been tied down. So we're going with a very large, again, plan to ensure that the road connectivity between the Shillong, the Shillong city, new administrative city, and the knowledge city is connected. So this is just to give a flavor to the members, because as I said, I cannot go into the whole details, otherwise it's going to take a lot of time. But again, just to share that the ongoing projects are on the top. So projects like the Belfont, Maupat to Shillong, New Shillong Township is already under construction. I think it's going to be done in a few months' time. The Kinton to Lincoln Road, and so on and so forth. So you can see the whole list. These are the different projects that are there. So in the first part of my reply, I have tried to just cover the overall growth plan, story, vision, what we have achieved, and the facts been presented to the House, and also showing what we plan to do in the coming years to be able to then take the state to that goal that we would want. So, and with that, I'll come to the second part of my presentation, of my reply, which is the financial part, sir. Next. So this is an old slide. Everybody has seen this. This is just again to give a flavor of how our GSDP is growing. And if you look at the numbers, sir, again, this is not just to compare past governments with new governments. Nobody should take it otherwise. So these are facts to show that how things are moving forward. So if you look at financial year 14 to financial year 18, we had roughly an economic growth of 6.5% in the GSDP trajectory. If you look at the section between financial year 19 to financial year 23, or at least 22, we had, 24, we had about 10.5%. There was growth, and as you're aware, sir, COVID hit us. But if you look at financial year 22 to the projected financial year 26, that is the extreme right, you can see, sir, that the projected growth is almost, is crossing 13.5%. And that is a growth rate, sir, that is going to take us to the 85,000 crore economy, which I've mentioned below, sir. And as I said, this is just a number, but how we will make this happen for each sector, I have presented to you in a glimpse for some of the sectors. Next. So this is again an important slide. And if you look at the growth, again, these are numbers which are factual numbers. And if you can see the expenditure that we have done. Now, if you look at all the expenditures that are there, the capital expenditures you can see, sir, is the bright green bars. And you can see the way the capital expenditure has gone up. Of course, revenue expenditure also has gone up, and that's part of the process. But what is important as a government and as members to notice that our growth in our capital expenditure has been much higher than the revenue expenditure. If you look at the table on the right, you can see, sir, the revenue expenditure in the 18 to 26 had grown by 10.4%, whereas the capital expenditure during that period had grown by 23.8%. So there's a clear indication that there's a huge amount that is being put into capital expenditure. Next. So this is again a very important slide, and I think this we should spend some time on focusing on this, sir. Sir, if you can look at this slide. Now, you can again see that the bright green section is the state's resources. The dark green section is the central schemes, and the borrowings is the orange color, sir. So now let me explain what state resources are, and I've got another slide later on to explain in detail what it is. But sir, there is a misconception that is always prevailing amongst all of us as members and even general public, that the share of central taxes is not, our money. It's a share that the central government gives. So, but what is important to note is that this is a constitutional provision and mandated by the Constitution for the central government to devolve these taxes and give it to Meghalaya and to the other states. And that is what the Finance Commission does. So to say that this is central government's money is going against the entire spirit of the Constitution, where this tax, the direct tax, which is the corporate and the income tax collected, is devolved and given to the states based on a formula that has come out by the Finance Commission. And that is the share of central taxes, but that is our money. It's not that center is doing a favor by giving this money to us. It is rightfully ours. So technically, sir, that is what is our own state resources. And I would like to stress here, sir, that this is based on a formula. And this formula have got horizontal, devolution, it's got vertical devolution, many technical aspects I don't want to go into, many factors from forest cover to the population to the areas, to, even the different aspects, of economic survey, of fertility rate, so on and so forth. There are many, many factors that are there that go into the calculation. And in the last the 15th Finance Commission, when Mr. N.K. Singh was the chairman, sir, I remember that we had discussed with Mr. N.K. Singh and urged that the hill states require a different kind of attention compared to the other states. And based on a lot of discussion with him and with the other chief ministers of hill states, we were able to have a conference of the hill states and the Finance Commission in Himachal Pradesh and in Uttarakhand. And when we had this meeting there, that time the chairman of the Finance Commission had come, and we gave detailed presentation on why the hill states require an additional funding. And that is when the aspect of population was brought in, and Mr. N.K. Singh had brought in an aspect that the population may be less, but if it is below 1%, then they should be given at 1%. So if your population factor is at, say, 0.3%, you'll be given at 1%. A small decision like that, after we had persuaded and spoken to him, led to an increase of 0.13% in terms of the share that the taxes that Meghalaya got from the center. And that amount, sir, led to an increase of almost 200 crores per month in terms of central taxes for us. My point being, sir, is that there is a huge exercise that goes into ensuring that we are able to get these resources. Now, coming to the crux of the matter, if you look at just look at the last column, sir, and if you can just zoom in. If you just look at the last column, sir, to give a rest to the continuous issue that people have, that why are we taking so much loans? Who's going to pay back these loans? Sir, look at these numbers, and let me put this entire issue of loans to rest. And hopefully this will not become an issue anymore. Out of the 29,438 crores, 3,800 crores is the loan factor. The rest is all our central schemes or the state's own resources, which includes the share of central taxes and our own taxes. So, sir, this column clearly reflects that we are not funding our entire development on loan. In fact, it is only a small amount. It is 10% of the total amount, which is very much within the permissible rate. So these are actual figures. I'm not making this up. So this is what is very important for everybody to remember, that less than actually 4%, about 11 to 12% is from the borrowed amount, which is again as per the norms that have been laid by the different agencies, including Government of India, Finance Department, and the Reserve Bank of India. Next again. So this again is to show the breakup of what our state resources are. And again, as I mentioned to you, so if you look at the pie, the state's own taxes, the share of central taxes, the Finance Commission grants, the revenue gap grant, the state's own resources, and other resources that are there, receipts. This makes up the total amount of close to 18,977 crores of the funds that are spent by us on revenue expenditure and on capital expenditure. So clearly, sir, this chart, I guess, is clear to everybody that our development and our expenditure is not funded by loan. It is funded by our own tax resources, share of central taxes. 10,910 crores is the share of central taxes, which is our money, which is constitutionally due to us, based on constitutional provisions and based on the devolution made by the Finance Commission. Next. Sir, again a number just to show everybody about the entire concerns of borrowing. And if you look at the national average, sir, in terms of borrowings versus total receipts, the national average is at 19%. That means the borrowings is on top and the total receipts is at the bottom. So the lower the percentage, obviously the better off, the lesser the loan you take. So if you look at the national average, sir, it is 19%. So states like Assam and other states are at 19% of the total borrowings over the receipts, and we are well below that number at 12%, sir. So this is just to give an example to you that we are not dependent on our receipts on borrowings. Our receipts are made up of our own state resources maximum, sir. So again, next. This again, sir, is a similar slide to show the state's resources over the receipts. Again, it's the same numbers, but we're just giving you the percentage. That today, 69% of our own state resources to the total receipts, 69% is from the state's own share, sir. So this is how the numbers are. We are very much at a acceptable number. Next one, sir. Again, this is central resources versus total capital receipts. Again, sir, this is shows the total central resources in terms of centrally sponsored schemes and other schemes, and shows that how much of that compared to the total receipts are there. And obviously, the northeastern states and hill states are normally on the higher side, sir, because our share is 90 to 10. So we get 90%, and other states get 50-50. So therefore, since the funding is 90-10, so the numbers are higher, which is a good thing. We get more money, sir, from the center. Then again, so next slide is again a small example of how all these receipts that we have received. So, sir, if I go back, just go back one slide. One more. Up, 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 up. One more. So again, sir, if you look at this slide, I want to reiterate the growth story of Meghalaya has been powered not by borrowings, but by the increase in our own state resources. That is the key, sir. And this entire misconception that our growth story is being driven by loan and that it is the people of the state who will have to pay back the loan, sir, is completely wrong. And I want to clear this misconception by reiterating on this particular slide, which is clearly showing that the state's own resources, the dark green part, the bright green part, that is what is empowering our growth. And if you can see how that number has grown, I've explained to the House why that number has grown. We talked to the Finance Commission. We were able to speak to them and get the devolution higher. We were able to get the area of the population to be factored in by ensuring that we got the 1% weighted average, and that is how this number has gone up. And this now can come down. Now, yeah. This is what, no, up, yeah. And this is what has driven the entire growth story, and this is what you're seeing, sir. Because of the increase in our own state's resources, today power sector, where we used to spend 213 crores in 2018, today we are spending 1,518 crores. If you look at the urban department, where you used to be spending 93 crores, today we are spending 1,373 crores. I'm not giving all the departments, sir, because we don't have space. Roads and bridges, where we are spending 1,108 crores. Today we are spending 2,596. Every sector in terms of the capital investment, the amounts have gone up in the expenditure based on the increase in the capital investment, based on the resources of the state that have gone up. Next. So this again, a very interesting slide, and I would like to stress on this because this is where a lot of our members have been concerned, and rightly, sir, I must say. Sir, the red line is what the CAG has been projecting our fiscal deficit at. And if you can see the red line, of course, during 21, just zoom in. During 21, because of COVID, it's come down, so they can see the graph on top. Yeah, up. Yeah, yeah. You can just put the year also. So like to see the year, the bottom. Just down. Just slide it up. Yeah, a bit more. A bit more. Yeah. So if you can see financial year 21, it was 7.7%, and the Government of India had allowed us to do that. Now, in the 2022 and 23 are the parts where, and 24 are the parts where the honorable members have raised concerns, and CAG also has mentioned it now. So what we have been maintaining, that if you were to remove the saski, the Special Assistance to States on Capital Investment, if you remove that 50-year interest-free loan that Government of India gives, our fiscal deficit is the yellow line that we have. So if you look at 2023, our fiscal deficit is at 3.8%, not 6.0%. And in 2024 is at 3.5%, and in 2025, 2.6%. And I'll come to saski on why this should be, why we don't put saski in the calculation for fiscal deficit. And sir, just to share that we have already written to the Ministry of Finance and to the AG, asking them that saski should not be included. The money that we get from this interest-free, 50-year interest-free loan should not be included in the fiscal deficit calculation. And that is one clarification I want to make, and the next slide will make things very, very clear for everyone. So it is at 6.0% as per CAG report, because no direction has been given to them by Ministry of Finance to not include saski, and they included saski in the calculation of debt, whereas it actually should not have been. And Honorable Finance Minister has assured me that she will be speaking to the AG and informing them that this calculation of saski should not be included in the loan that is taken by the state government. So next slide will show you what I mean. Can we zoom into the left table? Yeah. Just shrink it a bit. Yeah, put it up. Put it up a bit. Yeah, perfect. Sir, the saski is a very special scheme that is given by Government of India. This is a 50-year interest-free loan that is given to our state and to all the states. So this is more meaningful for small states like us, where we have got very limited sources, not like large states like Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. And therefore, Government of India, keeping that in mind, focusing on capital investment only, came out with this program called Special Assistance to States on Capital Investment, saski. Now, sir, this year, Meghalaya will be taking 2,450 crores under saski. This is the highest that we have ever taken, and it's actually based on the efficiency of every state government and based on the utilization that you do, that Government of India further sanctions. Now, to give a small understanding of what this means for us. Sir, in finance, there's a concept called discounted cash flow. Discounted cash flow. And a concept called net present value, NPV. In basic simple terms, what NPV means is that what is the value, what is the net present value of 1,000 crores 10 years from now? What is the value of that today? That's what net present value is, NPV. And we do it in order to calculate the value of a company. So normally, say for example, if you show your revenues, that every year my revenue is going to increase. So it's 1,000 crores, 2,000 crores, 3,000 crores. But at 3,000 crores 3 years from now is not 3,000 crores today. It's much lesser. So in order to be able to get the present value of that 3,000 crores, which is 3 years from now, there's a formula. So they put interest rate, and then they put a addition part to it, then they discount it and then bring it down to the value. So that's in a nutshell what NPV means, the net present value. So we calculated the net present value of 2,450 crores from today. That means, because this 2,450 crores is something I have to pay back at 50 years, I have to pay back in 2075. So if I have to pay back 2,450 crores in 2075, what is the value of that 2,450 today, when we pay it back in 2075? And so the net present value of the 2,450 is 83 crores as of today. That means we are only spending 83 crores compared to the 2,450, which is going to be paid back because there's no interest, sir, in this. Please remember, we have to only pay back the principal amount. So the net present value of 2,450 crores, which we will be paying back after 50 years, the value of that today is 83 crores. These are based on finance terms, sir, and numbers and the interest rates and all these put together. So that's number one. So therefore, this is actually not a real loan. It's not like a market loan which requires me to pay interest and pay back the loan in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years time. No, sir. Nobody is going to ask us questions till 50 years from now. And therefore, if you create the value of that today, it's 83 crores. That is the beauty of this particular scheme. The second beauty of this scheme, sir, is that there is a provision called the Consolidated Sinking Fund. I had mentioned this to you last time also in the House. Based on this, sir, we have to put 0.5% of the different loan components into this Consolidated Sinking Fund. Now look at the beauty of this, sir. For this particular 50-year loan, whose net present value is 83 crores, we have to put 12 crores in the Consolidated Fund every year for the next 50 years. And that 12 years will continue to give us interest. And you know, sir, what the value of that deposit that we make from now on for the next 50 years is going to be? At 2075, is going to be 5,155 crores. Which means when we have to repay for 2,450 crores, we will actually have 5,155 crores, double of what we have to pay, because of the fact that interest is not applicable. So this is how finance and hedging works. This is how terms and conditions of finance department are created to ensure that no state goes into any kind of a debt trap. And we have to follow these principles. And it's based on these principles, sir, that we are taking the loans. But as correctly mentioned by our honorable member from Umsning, that we have to take it in a calculated manner. There has to be provisions. There has to be ways and means in which we'll be able to repay those debts back. And as I mentioned, sir, this may be one of the best ways to fund our capital investment projects. Because though we are taking 2,450 crores today, which has to be prepaid after 50 years without interest, that amount is only valued at 83 crores right now. So therefore, sir, this is a beautiful way to fund, and Meghalaya is one of the most efficient, I should say, states in this aspect. And as I said, based on the Consolidated Sinking Fund amount we are putting in, there will be sufficient amount for the then government to be able to repay back only the principal amount after 50 years. That is the reason why we argued with Finance Ministry and said this cannot be treated like a normal loan. It's not. It is a 50-year-old loan, and therefore they should not put this in the calculation of the fiscal deficit to the GSDP, and Honorable Finance Minister has agreed to it. Of course, it's a technical aspect and they are working on it. So let's hope that this will come through, and very soon we'll be able to come out with better clarifications from the central government side also. So similarly, sir, if you look at the externally aided projects, so I have been repeating this again, and I hope the saski now and the loan part, and now, as I said, EA part, will be able to put this to rest. The externally aided projects, again, sir, this is an amount which is not an amount that government of Meghalaya has to pay in full. As mentioned, sir, I will give the entire details because this is being explained to the House, that there is a component of 90-10. So the 10% is the state share and 90% is the loan component. I think that's clear, sir. So 10% state government has to give. So when we do the project, if it's a 100 crore project, 10 crores we have to spend. And 90 crores is the loan, so-called loan. Now, for this 90 crores, Government of India has a provision. Under this provision, Government of India has agreed that the 90% of the loan that is being taken, 80% of that 90% will be paid back by Government of India. So what that means, sir, if 10 crores we have to pay, so there's no question of loan, we have to pay, 90 crores is left. Out of this 90 crores, 80%, which means 72 of the whole project, 80 into 9, 8 nines are 72. 72% of the entire amount, Government of India is going to repay back, and the rest of 10% plus 18%, so 10% we have to anyway give, that 18% also is something that we have to pay in advance. So my points are being that these externally aided projects, out of the 100 rupees or 100 crores that we take, Government of Meghalaya has to pay 28% of it, and 72% is repaid back by Government of India. So there's no question of us taking any loan. Sir, just want to be very clear that EAPs and saski are almost like free money. So I'm not saying it's free, but it's almost like free money because it's not at the kind of a loan rate that we're saying. EAP, but saski, kumpisa, bayo, ei. EAP, but saski, kumpisa, bayo, ei. It is almost, I'm not saying it is a free loan, nothing is free, sir, in this world, but it is almost. Again, can you go, if you look at this slide, sir, you can clearly make out 2,450 crores today we're getting, which is to be repaid back after 50 years in 2075. Net present value of that money to be repaid back then at today is at 83 crores. So I think maths is very simple. I think, I'm sure the honorable members would say we should do it more. It is better than taking a market loan. It is better than going to the free market. So the free market and the market loan and the loans from banks that we had mentioned is that limit that we are putting. We are not crossing that limit. And we have got provisions to ensure that we are able to repay this by ensuring the consolidated fund provision is there. So, sir, we have tied down all aspects. And rest assured, the people of the state and the House should be aware that we are taking all provisions to ensure that Meghalaya will not fall into a debt trap. We will not put any risk to our future generation. It is our responsibility to ensure that we will take care of the finances, and that is why our maximum amount of expenditure we have done has come out of our own state resources, sir, not from loan. And this is something, sir, which is very, very important to clarify, and I hope I've been able to clarify this to the House. So next, of course, are very simple programs next. So these are some of the important schemes that we have, of course, announced. The first and the very important scheme, sir, which is there, is the scheme for the Chief Minister's Scholarship Scheme, sir. I don't want to go into the name aspect. I've got quite a bit of support to say that we should continue with CM scheme. Am I correct? Most of the House agrees, I hope? Yes. As correctly said, sir, this is not Conrad Moment scheme. Neither is it Charles Maranga scheme. This is the Chief Minister's scheme, and Chief Minister is the head of the government. And it is most appropriate that we move forward in that line. And that's how even central government, sir, works in that line. Having said that, sir, I want to narrate a small story. Story is very simple. I went for a dinner with my family. And my elder daughter, she's 13 years old. Her name is Amara. And she, while we were having food, she just looked at me, and from nowhere, she said, "Papa, you should give scholarship scheme to children." And I was like taken aback. I said, "Where is this coming from?" He said, "No, I think children are facing a lot of difficulty when it comes to scholarship. You should help them." And you believe it or not, sir, that was the beginning of the thought that let's do something. Though, of course, I explained to her and explained to so many people that there is a problem with scholarship that is coming from central government. I'll take a minute to explain. And the reason, sir, because, and it's not just our state, the whole country faces. And I would like to address the students right now, and I hope you're listening, that these are scholarships that come from Government of India. When Government of India releases the amount, it is immediately given to you in your account. We don't stop it, or we don't do anything to not give it to you, because obviously we want you to get the scheme fast. But there is a sanction process issue in Government of India level, maybe between Tribal Affairs Ministry and Finance Ministry, where the funds don't come on time. And as the funds come and the sanction, they are transferred straight into the account of the beneficiary, which is the students. And through the year, Government of India sanctions these amounts in batches. So 20 crores, 30 crores, 40 crores. And based on that, some students get and some don't get. So I just wanted to clarify to our young students that it is not the state government that is stopping your scholarship. Funds are not coming in from center, because of which there is a delay in the scholarship. Have we pursued this? We have pursued this all the way to the top. And we are pushing Government of India, including Finance Ministry, to release these funds on time. I am hopeful that the next academic year, we should be able to figure out some way to streamline this. If Government of India, Finance Ministry, releases the schemes in one shot to all the students, this problem is solved. The second way for us to solve this problem is, which we do sometimes for other schemes, is for Meghalaya government to give in advance. And I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it, sir. Because students need it, and I understand the pressure they go through, and they deserve it, sir. It's not their fault. It's a problem in the central government, so they should not be delayed. So we are happy to pay it. The amount comes to about 160 crores a year. So we can organize those funds. The issue is that once we give to the students, and then after that Government of India sanctions it, when Government of India sanctions, the funds go straight into the student's account, which means they will get from us in advance, and they will get this from Government of India also into their account. Now, if we tell the students, please pay us back, I don't think that's a very good thing to do, and I don't think they will agree. So we are also in a catch-22 situation where we are not able to pay in advance also, whereas we would desire to, because as I said, we don't know then how to get back that money. And we are in talks with Government of India to find a way in which, if Government of India does not release it on time, can we as a state government give it in advance, and the funds can be sent to us. So I'm working on both the options, and I would like to share with the student community that I'm working tirelessly to ensure that this issue is resolved. But in the meantime, as has been suggested by so many people, I am happy to announce, I've announced in my budget, that the students who are pursuing their courses in post-matriculate students, in courses in post-matriculate, that we will be giving an amount of 6,000 rupees to 80,000 students every year. Similarly, sir, CM Assure is another very important program. Again, this is all based on feedback from our members, sir. Feedback from the people. I have maintained this all the time. So we are here to listen to the concerns of our people. We want to resolve it, sir. I'm not saying we can resolve everything. But I can assure you, our members, I think everybody who has spoken in this house have at least maintained one thing, even though they've said things that, sometimes this road is not done, that building is not done, which is natural, sir. But never have we not listened to our members. All members will agree that the Chief Minister's office, the Deputy CM's office, and all the Cabinet Minister's office is always open to discuss the issues and work towards resolving it if we are able to practically move forward and if it's financially feasible for us. So CM Assure again was a very important project. Focus and Focus Plus, we will be working towards easing the norms as has been suggested by Honorable Deputy CM, has suggested that we should ease the norms for Focus Plus so that more and more beneficiaries can be benefited. We have almost close to 200 crores budgeted for this, and we will move forward in a very positive way. Similarly, sir, the Chief Minister's Skill Mission, the Urban Revitalization Scheme, the Football Mission, the Green Meghalaya Plus Mission, the Meghalaya State Aquaculture Mission, the Meghalaya State Sports Action Plan, the homestays has been increased now from 35% to 45% subsidy. The CM Elevate has again been further increased to not 75, sir, but 50%. We've increased for business across sectors. And similarly, sir, many other programs like the Meghalaya Outstanding Sports Person direct appointment policy also has been approved and is part of this particular budget, sir. So all these schemes will further go a long way in supporting our youngsters as well as our farmers and our different women's self-help groups. Sir, through my reply, I have tried to give a larger sense. I apologize that I was not able to go into all the individual issues. As I said, I'm happy to do it, provided Speaker gives us dinner tonight. We can stay. I can go in through each of the policies, but I'm sure that you will appreciate that we have always responded on the issues, and I will continue to respond and try to work towards resolving your issues at your constituency level. Suggestions have been noted down by my planning department and my officials, and we will tell each of the departments concerned to resolve the issues. But I think at the end, I have tried to explain, as I said, and project to the entire House and to the public at large regarding the work that has happened, the vision that we have, and how we will work towards moving towards that vision. While we do all of this, I have also tried to explain how the jobs will be created for our youngsters through the interventions that we have. And more importantly, while all these interventions and expenditures have been made in the past and will be made in the future, the misconception that this is being funded by loans is completely incorrect. And we have shown how these funds work and how the money comes in, and that maximum of the funding that has happened in the past and which will happen in the future is going to be funded by our own resources and not by loans and a different kind of debt that members are concerned about. It's a genuine concern, and I appreciate. I think it's important because it is a impulsive reaction where we look at numbers and say most probably it's from debt or from loan. And so my responsibility to clarify that, and I hope that through this reply I have been able to shed light on this entire issue of externally aided projects, entire issue of saski, and the entire issue of how our own state resources have gone up because of the work that we have done with the Finance Commission. So with these few clarifications and a few words, and I hope that I have been able to address some of the concerns of the members, I once again, sir, present this budget and for the approval and clearance of this August House. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. As there is no further business before the House for the day, sorry?
Please allow us some time.
Clarification?
Yes,
Oh,
that
sorry.
is the usual practice.
I'm very sorry.
Before any other member would like to seek clarification, I think I take this opportunity to, at the very outset, thank the Honorable CM for exhaustive reply, dwelling on number of areas of concern, and particularly rightly in addressing those concerns, and also reflecting the kind of strides that we have been able to make till now. I appreciate that the efficient utilization of EAP. Earlier it was 90:10. Somehow out of that 90, Government of India subsequently post 2014 said, no, it will be 90:10 in the 90 that is left with the Government of India. That's why it ultimately came to the 72:28. But I think I have shared this earlier also. These are low-hanging fruits. The best thing that has happened for the state is these EAPs, but these are basically because of the fiscal health of the state. Now, irrespective of the your fiscal deficit vis-a-vis the projected borrowing, etc., I did intently listen to the presentation and submission. Our concern about this borrowing which is covered under EAP, this is one thing which we should aggressively follow. There is no other borrowing which provides us this kind of support, because almost 90% comes as a grant. All these programs, these MITP, all these human capital development under Asian Development Bank, JICA, they are all of the same pattern. Now here, if we look at, as per the mandate of the FRBM Act, what is necessary is that state has to present disclosure of statements brought out in compliance to the conditions of fiscal transparency set out in the Meghalaya Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act rules 2006. Based on which, I would like to just refer to only this, the loan components. Here in 2025-26, out of the total projected borrowing of 4,788 crore, calculate 344,267.75 lakh market loans. We're not talking about loans from EAP. It's a market loan. Then we also refer to, I'm referring to budget at a glance, 2025-26, page 9. Then loans from NABARD, these are negotiated loans. 22,000, that means 22,000 lakhs. That means 220 crore loan from, negotiated loan from NABARD. Then again, ways and means advance from RBI. So these are the areas which is reflective of borrowing from the market. We always refer it as a borrowing from the open market and the negotiated loan. We usually try to convince NABARD to give us more. So these are something which the government should always take cognizance of, based on which CAG is flagging these issues. Then another part is, borrowing is an instrument to fund programs. But how are we using this money which is borrowed? That's why fiscal deficit is bound to be reflected in every budget exercise. But how do we utilize this borrowing? Borrowing must be utilized for capital investment, not for repayment of loans and interest. That's the concern that I have flagged before the House. Borrowing, whether it is from market borrowing or negotiated loan, but it must be utilized only for creating capital assets. If it is being used for repayment of the principal of the loan and the interest, then we have a problem. And that is exactly what I have tried to flag. Otherwise, there are bound to be fiscal deficit, but what is the debt is to GSDP ratio. That is very important. Fiscal deficit notwithstanding, what is the debt is to GSDP ratio. Now we talk about many other states borrowing. Now if somebody who has $1 billion is asking the bank to lend, and I who have only 1 lakh rupees asking the bank to lend, how is the bank going to treat these two clients? So similarly, the states who have their own resources, and based on that only, you have to look at what is the debt is to GSDP ratio. So long it is good, we are backed by this robust law, which has enabled us to have our financial fundamentals, very strong financial fundamentals. That's why we are not afraid. So long we adhere to these parameters which are required to be adhered to by every state, including union government. So long we adhere to this FRBM Act, we will not fall into debt trap. It's for certain. But anyway, I would like to congratulate the Honorable Chief Minister for having done exhaustive work to explain to us. But please take care of the market loans and ensure that whatever is borrowed is utilized to invest for capital, creation of your capital assets. I would like to thank you for showing that shirt. It must be tempting to quiet all of us. Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice. But I would like to request the Honorable CM to also look at another initiative. You know, that Remi fabric. Yeah, Remi. This is one of the strongest natural fiber which has been used to create fabric. We weaved beautiful saris. We tried to find out how fine the fabric can be if we use Remi as the yarn. and it is something which is grown in our own state. These are something, this fiber we used to use it for angling, because they don't get, like any other fiber, they don't get rotten in the water. So this is something which attracted many of our partners from Europe. In fact, this area, I think we should place on record many of our young guys who actually took these products of EDE to showcase our product in Europe. We had the privilege of supporting them. I think that what Daniel CM, that our own designer, they have done wonders to connect this whole strength that we have. So I think my submission to the Honorable CM is, please take care of that REMI. It is something exclusive, and it already has the connect. And it can, I also have a shirt woven from REMI, I will wear next time. And but with the condition that CM take cognizance of this beautiful thing. One day there was a gentleman from Chokpot, he said, sir, I managed to get 3 lakhs only from REMI, you see. So these are things, these are something which is just in our backyard. It's like the gold rush story when the gold mine is just behind your neighborhood. So these few things, and at the same time, only one more thing in nutshell I have put it for everyone. The developmental gaps. Kindly take cognizance of this, developmental gaps. And also, the concern expressed, because the submission made by MLAs, the honorable members of this August House, are reflective of certain inaccessibility to information of the schemes being implemented. I think this is a matter of serious concern. CM should, and the government, all the line departments and all ministers in charge must take cognizance of this. Because this is not something, when these particular concerns are being expressed by members from the Treasury bench, not by us. So it is not politics, but it is a reality. There is a need to have transparency. There is a need to actually enlighten people about whatever interventions are being taken out of these scarce resources of public fund from the public exchequer. Let every single paisa that we spend be used for larger public good. We have number of initiatives. We see that. I saw that presentation, beautiful presentation of New Shillong Township. In fact, money was already provided to the urban department earlier. Last session, I asked what happened to that money for exactly that 30-meter breadth road with cycling track, with pedestrian. Similar thing we tried to do to Pelga, from Tura, Dakopgri to Pelga. So this is something which can actually brand the state in a manner that you would like to actually position the state of Meghalaya. So review those initiatives also. Please reconnect with some past proposals also, and ensure that they become alive again so that we stand to benefit collectively. So with these few words, I am sure that CM will take cognizance of this market borrowing. It's good that we have a larger share of taxes. Reasons are there also, because taxes are increasing in terms of percentage. So we will not talk on this. This is something which the government of every state rather should take cognizance of this and take it up in our GST Council. Because some issues must be taken up in GST Council in view of the increasing tax levied upon all the citizens through GST. Earlier, every tax proposed, every revision of tax proposed used to be something which required a mandate of the House. But with the new regime of GST, we have lost this privilege of voting for any proposed new tax. But this whole responsibility lies with the government. Therefore, this issue must always be flagged in the GST Council so that our concerns are taken care of. And another thing I would like to also, before I wind up, to take cognizance, please remember that earlier we were in transition from VAT to GST. We asked Government of India to compensate us for all the losses because it was in transition. So these figures are because of that also. So I hope the whole endeavor will be the collective desire to ensure that the state is positioned in the right path of growth and prosperity. And we will look at to extend all the support necessary to the government for the implementation, effective, successful and transparent implementation of these programs. And I hope I will get this assurance from the government that every program being implemented will be done effectively with transparency, and also the issue of developmental gaps across the state will be taken care of.
Yes, sir. I have noted the points of the Honorable Leader of Opposition, sir. And just to add one or two points only, that number one, a very valid point, that the loans that are taken, especially market borrowings, sir, are never utilized to repay the loans in the interest of past borrowings. That's an absolute no. And that has never happened, at least in the last 7-8 years, and will not happen also in the future. That's something that we are very particular about. Sir, at the same time, REMI is something we have been working on. It was in fact during the time of the Honorable Elo that he had started this entire process of the REMI. It was requiring a bit of technology intervention, so some experts required. We are still working on it, but it has got a very big future, no doubt about it. And we are engaging with the farmers and with experts to promote that. So we are taking it forward, and I do look forward to seeing the shirt, the REMI shirt that the Honorable Elo also will wear next time. At the same time, I also want to just mention that Honorable Elo had mentioned about the taxes, and yes, when it comes to the indirect taxes, the ones that are come through GST, that is on the goods and services tax, in those areas, of course, the revenue has been going up. But when I was speaking, so I was referring to the direct taxes, which is the income tax and the corporate tax, which is devolved through the Finance Commission. And in those certain formulas that are put in are very, very particular and in detail. And you really have to work with the Finance Commission to tweak those particular formulas. And depending on small tweaks here and there can lead to large revenue. As I said, for us, it was a 0.1, 2 or 3% increase. But that 0.123% increase led to almost close to 200 crores of additional revenue per month for us, because it's that 0.1% of the entire country's direct taxes, which is the corporate and the income tax. But yes, rationalization is going on under process for GST. I'm part of the GST Council as a finance minister, and the finance minister of the country has put up a subcommittee, a GOM, a group of ministers, to review the taxes being paid under GST and rationalize the rates so that people will don't have to pay so much of taxes. So that process is on. We hope so that in the next few meetings in the GST Council, this issue will be presented and some decision will be taken.